Hello and welcome to the video. This is a quick overview and my review of this thing here. This is the updated version of something that I looked at a little while ago. This is the new M6DAC dual smart charger. Now ToolkitRC have brought out quite a lot of chargers recently. This is one of the latest. Lots of reviewers sent this to review, and you'll be able to spot the ones that have been shipped out because they actually very kindly made a little custom sticker so that you can see it on the top. So you'll see it on other people's channels as well. But this is quite a nice little charger. It's quite a weighty thing. It feels actually really nicely made. Let me go through some of the specs, show you how it comes in the box, and show you what it's like to use. They are still not listening enough to what we need on a charger, on a modern charger. It is a good basic charger, but it's missing a couple of things that could have made it great. So while I unbox it, let me quickly go through the specs. Again, this is a 2-port charger capable of charging up to 6S battery, 2 kinds of power input, AC and DC. On AC it's a 200-watt charger, on DC it's a 700-watt charger. It's XT60 connector at the back for the DC pieces. It'll support LiPo, LAHV, LAFE, lithium ion, nickel metal hydride, lead-based batteries, so pretty much everything you're going to want to use in the hobby. Balance accuracy seems pretty good, and it has the usual stuff. It has a charge mode, discharge mode, and a storage mode as well. On the back it has a USB-C port too, which actually will output power, so you can use it to charge stuff. It does frustrate me when they do things like put USB-C on stuff like this. I know sometimes it's so you can connect to the computer and it's easier to flash. That's fine, put that on the back, but somewhere on the side where it's easy to get to, give us a couple of high current USB ports that we can plug any cable in. That way we can charge our DJI goggles, our Fat Shark batteries. So many things these days need a high current USB source to charge. Even things like our radios these days, you can charge the internal lithium ion batteries via a USB-C cable, and the cable that's provided in the kit doesn't have the right ends to allow you to do that. So there is a lot on this that is very nice if you're looking for a 2-port charger. The challenge of course with this is I'm only reviewing it after playing with it for about a week, and so far so good. How it's going to survive over months and months and months of constant use is a trickier question to answer. It's compact enough to sit on the desk all the time and to be used for charging those things like the quick batteries before you go out to fly. I have my beloved 2-port charger that's always sat on the desk ready to go, and that will do 90% of my flying days by doing 2 or 3 sets of batteries through it. When I have a bigger day with bigger batteries, I'll pull out a big 4-port charger. But a 2-port charger, unless you're taking lots and lots of weird and wacky stuff with lots and lots of batteries to the field, is enough for most pilots. It does feel heavy and well made. The rotary switch is actually metal and has a nice positive click. The controls feel really good. I do like the fact we've got DC and AC power. That does mean it can sit in the bench by your desk and you can charge batteries in it before you go to the field, and you can then also just unhook it and take it to the field with you, and if there's a DC power supply around, then you can hook it into that to top up batteries as you go to extend the amount of fun at the field. It is very quiet in operation as well. It takes a lot for the fan to come on. So most of the time it's just going to sit there passively, chugging away, charging your batteries without sounding like somebody is vacuuming the room next door. And I really like that. That particularly for me, where I might be on the phone or recording audio or something like that, is absolutely brilliant. But it means for other people as well, there isn't that constant whirring noise going away in the background. The screen is really nice and very easy to use. You can see exactly what's going on. It's very easy to scroll through all the settings to see where you are up to with the battery. There's the kind of status indicator. You can see the internal resistance of the cells. It really is good. Multi-language support on here too, so if English isn't your primary language you can change that, and very wide range of modern battery types supported up to 6S. One of the cute things that I hadn't spotted until I'd used it for a couple of days and it was a slightly darker day is that the LEDs by the top of the outputs actually come on and show you what's happening. There's only a couple of things really to draw your attention to with this. First of all is that I personally found that the navigation wasn't very intuitive. With other models I've got, there are little buttons to change between the individual channels. Once I had the hang of that, I was away. Now if this is going to be the charger that you use all the time, that very quickly, once you've figured out how to use it, is going to become obvious and not an issue for you. But for me, it wasn't as intuitive as it could be. Things like, if there's only one battery plugged into one channel, it should default to that battery when you're then going into all the pieces to actually set it up. And maybe little tweaks like that will be handled in firmware later on. The only big niggle for me on this thing is the fact that they haven't put any USB ports on here. You've got the USB-C thing at the back and you get the cable in the kit, but that's not a cable that you can plug into your DJI FPV controller or your radio or your Fat Shark battery or thousands of other things that we use in the hobby. Lots and lots of things these days want that standard USB port at the side, and having that presented somewhere where you can just have a couple of cables plugged in, so while you're charging a couple of batteries to fly with, you also can be charging your radio and things like your goggles, would have made this perfect. And do watch out for the different plug options. Obviously for me, I was sent the US one. I could have done with the UK one, but as it is a standard connector, it's very easy to find a cable to do the job if you accidentally get the wrong one. So this is a nice DC-AC dual port charger that seems to work very well. Again, navigation is a little bit tricky, but once used to it, it's fine. And just be aware that unfortunately, although you can use this port to charge stuff, you're going to have to find specific cables that aren't included in the box if you want to charge any of the stuff we use in the hobby. Thank you for spending your time today watching that video. You can find me in all the usual places on social media, and if you're trying to learn about a subject, then check out the playlist. All of my videos are organized into easy to follow playlists that if you're trying to learn a topic will take you from the basics right the way through to some pretty advanced stuff.